Hi, I'm Ellie Walsh. Today is day 2 of the vlogging journey. So today's topic is, for day 2, tell your story. I thought, tell my story. I have a big story. We were talking about the idea of something that you've overcome. We've all had struggles, challenges in our lives. I know I call them opportunities today, but I didn't always when I was in the middle of some of them. You've had yucky stuff go on, sometimes horrid stuff, and come through the other side. And by sharing your story, you are reaching somebody. You might never know who it is. You might never meet them. They might never even contact you, but you always reach somebody. And, I know that. I've shared my story on the internet, and I speak in groups. So I will always get people that come up to me and say, wow, I really got that. Or that really resonated with me. I really identify with that. Thank you so much for saying that. And, I've been on the other end of that. I've been listening to speakers and say, oh, I get that. There's a connection that happens. There's a community that happens. So I thought, okay, let me pick just one portion because I have a few of them. But this was a big life-altering scenario experience in my life. And I'm going to go back to January of 2003. Now, at that time in my life, I was living in upstate New York. I still am. And I was in a relationship for 18 years. And on January 3rd, 2003, my partner, Gail, laid down and didn't get up. And my life, as I knew it, changed in that instant. I can't even really explain that kind of grief. If you've lost somebody special in your life. And, my father had passed away several years before that, and that deeply affected me. This was a whole nother level. I was 47 years old. I was a widow. And I wasn't legally recognized as a widow. And, we had been planning a lot more years together. And all of a sudden, there was this huge gap in my life. And so the shock and the grief, I never knew a human being could cry the way I cried. From the tip of my toenails through my whole body. And I remember that night, I had been with my friends then that afternoon, and that night I came back home here, I came back home where I lived. I was by myself, and I walked into the kitchen, and I went over to the kitchen sink, and we had a mirror over the kitchen sink. And I looked in that mirror, and my face was blotchy, and my eyes were swollen, and I looked beyond that. And I said out loud, in this pile of crap, there's a diamond, and I'm going to find it. And I was able to say that because I was already on a personal development journey, I guess you could call it, for 20 years. I was already reading Wayne Dyer and Marianne Williamson. And for 20 years, I was in a 12-step program. That's another story. So I had that exposure, and, I had made huge changes in my life. You want to know, I already had been in depression land. I'd been there and done that. I already lived in Victimville. I've been there and done that. And they don't work. They're a vicious cycle that get you nowhere. They just go round and around. And I had gotten myself out of that. I had made huge changes in my life. And so I knew I couldn't let myself go back to that. Now, I knew Gail was okay. I didn't know if I was okay. And I needed to find a way to be okay. So I started a journey. Now, I was lucky that I had a community already. because of the 12-step program. So I had people that loved me and that uplifted me. Very, very important. That year, I delved into personal development. Well, for me, actually, it was Abraham Hicks, who was teaching law of attraction way before The Secret. And then looking into how our brains work, mindset, how we have a program, and we have these reactions that we're coming from. And what I now today, these belief systems that are many times holding us away from the things we really want because we don't believe we can get them. So what I call today your mindset map. That year, it was a lot of up and downs and a lot of learning and a lot of recognizing what was going on with me and learning how to shift it, getting more connected with me, and just keep finding a way to feel better. And, of course, when I came away from that, I could look back and go, whoa, there were lots of diamonds there. But that first year, that's an up and down year. Yeah, I'm not telling you it was fun. It was very difficult. But I was determined. I was determined to find that way to be okay. Which then led me to realize and I don't know when that day is, that you realize, I'm really okay. I'm really okay. Then realizing if I could get knocked down like that and get back up, and not just get back up, but get back up taller and more confident, more connected, more aware, more knowing. If I could do that, I could help other people do that. And so that, I got on the internet and started actually to blog about my experiences, and then I started coaching. So that situation actually led to me to what I've been doing now for the last 9.5, 10 years, is working with people and helping them change their mindset, helping them understand how they can just make the shifts and find their passions and step into who they really are. But, I know I spoke about community, and that's one of the big things I urge people to do. When you're going to make those changes, you want to get around like-minded people, people that support you and uplift you, because there's lots of people out there today that just talk negative stuff. And you want to know what? We were trained to do that. So that is a mindset map. As you're changing your mindset map, you want to get around the kind of people like the Superwomen. These vlogs are going to change people's lives who are doing them and change people's lives who watch them. You can join us on the vlog journey. Come on over to my Facebook page and connect with me. I will see you on day 3.